We talk about what the Hope Center has done for so many people, but I don't think you can truly express what the Hope Center really is in words, other than God's grace and God's mercy and God's love.
You may have noticed that looks like we're sitting in a big garage. What we're really sitting in, though, is just a huge amount of God's provision. So if you were to look to my left, you would see furniture. If you look behind me, you see clothing. If you go further back, you'll see shelves with tents and sleeping bags and towels and personal needs supplies. All of the things that people need, that people are looking for, all the tools that we use, resources that we use to bring hope. Since 2011, we have served over 18,000 families in direct financial assistance. That has resulted in close to $900,000 in financial assistance to our community.
So this year we will serve 35,000 meals, and that's a lot of numbers trying to work out of a church kitchen. When I first started over a year ago, we were serving about 70 meals a day, and now just 15, 16 months later, we're serving anywhere from 230 to 260 meals a day. We try to do things to show people they matter, and we're not just slapping a meal out to them. And we have people who will go through the line and say, is there anything we pray with you about? And it impacts us because we've grown to care about these people who come in every day.
The mobile markets just became something that I fell in love with. We are a supplement to their groceries. We are a fresh food option that's available to them that they might not get at a regular food pantry. Our volunteers take them around with a wagon. They choose what they want from what's here, and then our volunteers walk them out and help them load their cars up. They bring us between 9,000 and 10,000 pounds of food on a truck that we unload and organize so that our neighbors can come in and shop for food. They are excited to come, and then they are grateful for the groceries that they get to take home for their families.
Since I did meth, I was isolated myself. I had no friends or relationships. I was homeless when I was using, and I was living in my car with my dog. I've come so far since then, and it's all from the Hope Center. It gives me hope that each time I come in that I'm getting better every day.
My niece got involved in some things that she couldn't handle her children. So I'm 65 years old, I'm a grandma. I'm raising these little kids. They are the joy to my life. They're the ones that keep me motivated. They're the ones that help me get up every morning. But I can't afford on a retirement pension to raise them. So I've reached out, and the Hope Center was there. The little things, toilet paper, the things that people don't realize that you need. The Hope Center has provided it all and blessed me. There's such a blessing in my life. I can't even begin to tell you what a blessing it is to have this for me in my life.
11 years ago, I came to Ohio under false pretense as a former friend, and I ended up being homeless. While finding a job, I was recommended to go to the Hope Center because I was told I can get free meals there. After a couple of times, they really start to want to get to know you and ask questions, ask your story. And some of the volunteers at the Hope Center had found out that I walked everywhere, and the first thing they did was offer me for a bike. And I was overjoyed and grateful to be able to have a bike and something to help get around town. As time gone on, I became more involved in the Hope Center, working in the various ministries around the building. A lady that was working in the medical offered to sell and sold me her car, but then the money I gave her ended up donating back to me so I can fix the car. The Hope Center then, out of the goodness of their heart, found me a place to live and gave me my first ever home. It was my first ever home that I can call mine. And it was just amazing. And the people that volunteer and help with the Hope Center, they treat you like family because you are family. You are their brothers and their sisters in Christ, and that's how they see you and that's how they treat you. There's no judgment from them. The Hope Center has helped me grow as a person, helped me become a man that I could be for my wife and my children. That is what speaks volume. That is hope in a world that is so dark. The Hope Center brings light. It is a beacon for people that wants to feel safe, where they don't have to feel like they have to struggle. They don't have to feel like they're on edge all the time, where they can just come and be loved and feel love and be joyful.
That's why I do this, because I get to see love in action every day. And life is so hard for people, but they still come and they joke with us and they have joy, and they're just people who need loved on. They need a little bit of help to get through a hard time. And, you know, I think someday I'm going to be happy to be able to look back and say, you know, I was able to make a difference in those lives. So how could you have a better job than that?
If I had to share one story with you, it's really hard to choose, because I don't think there's a day that I walk out of that building that I don't know for certain that God showed up.
When I heard about the Hope Center from those that I know in the community, the number one thing they said was the Hope Center is the place that's doing something significant. They're having the most impact. And when I learned that the Hope Center was doing so much in the area, really with so little, I was like, man, this is something I could get behind. Every dollar we give to the Hope Center, we have a lot of confidence that that's making it directly where it needs to go. It's impacting others in the community who need it most, and most importantly, it's honoring God and it's loving neighbor, which are the two things that Jesus told us to do. So when we saw that, it was an easy yes for us to get involved and make the Hope Center one of our partners.
One of the reasons that we are finding it so challenging right now, being separated over multiple locations, it is very difficult to manage the physical aspects of the job, getting donations from place to place, and the organizational skills it takes to know which building to open when and where to be at a certain time. If we were able to be under one roof again, those type of energies and resources could be conserved to better minister to our clients and neighbors.
The problem with the inefficiency here is that when you're going from serving 70 meals to the number we're serving now, we believe that we are probably at our capacity now for serving. There's not much more we can get out of this kitchen per day. And to do 250 meals a day, you're exhausted at the end of the day.
Having items in different places and ministries in different places really slows us down.
It's not just a community, it's family, and a family that needs a home.
Wow, a home for hope. It's a really interesting tagline, because a home is such a meaningful thing. And I think it goes hand in hand with this campaign. I mean, a home is where memories are made, is where people feel comfortable. When you think of just different things that happen throughout your life, one of the most meaningful aspects of those memories is your home. And what we're trying to do here is provide a home for hope, really for the community of Marysville and the population growth that's happening out here, the needs that are being met in the community. When people know that when I'm struggling, when I have a need, whether that be clothing, whether that be food, encouragement. I mean, I've even heard stories of people getting the gospel shared and, you know, accepting Christ right there at the front desk. When there's a home for that in a community, how special is that? I mean, I can't think of anything else that would resonate more with the community, that having a place that hope always exists, and there's a home for that, there's a place for that, and they know where to go. It's kind of that true little North Star that you can put right in the middle of this community, where people can go and spend their time when they need it most.
Since I was 11 years old, I've had the opportunity to see the ministry of the Hope Center firsthand, as a volunteer, as a supporter, and as a friend. Now as director of Next Gen Ministry, I get to be a part of that ministry. and a part of that impact in the Union County community.
Currently, we are spread throughout Union County. Our ministries are at the fairgrounds, our offices are here, our storage is at one of the churches in town. We have just really been spread out and had to travel a lot more with a lot more expense and cost to that to be able to serve the community in the way that we want to. Our goal is to get under one roof so that we can serve even more people than what we ever have. Our numbers have doubled and tripled in the last 2 to 3 years. We don't know yet where we're going to be, where we're going to land. What we do know is we want to bring it all back together again, under one roof, all the ministries, all the different people coming in to see us, that we can be interactive right there like we were before. We want to gather our youth back together. We want those programs. We want them to be able to come in and fellowship, to play games, to have sports. We want our seniors to be able to come back in and sit down and have a meal and have a social life. We want to bring that dream back home by building a home for hope.
I've seen this community not just change lives, but save lives. And that's what the Hope Center does, and that's what it's about, and that's what it wants to continue to do.
So we need you to help us build a home for hope. I think you'll be so glad to be a part of that, and there's nothing more rewarding than knowing that you've made a difference in the lives of people in your community.
And I would love for you to partner with us in building a home for hope.
We need your help to build a home for hope.
Help us build a home for hope.
We need your help to build a home for hope.
Won't you please help us to build a home for hope?